Welcome to the Red Cup. Another nice episode tonight, man. We got my main man, Coach Mac. You know what I'm saying? Done by my, you know what I'm saying? We talk that later on. Coach Roach, man, my man. You know what I'm saying? JBSU, you know what I'm saying? Charlie Moe called in sick tonight, man. Called in sick tonight. Now, we can get it started, though, man. Coach Mac, first of all, man, thanks for coming on the show. From, you know what I'm saying, just doing the things you did for the community, the inner high and all that, man. You are the last, you know what I'm saying, of that 80s mob. You know what I'm saying, that inner high, man, that had that bad Dunbar team, man, up there, you know what I'm saying, and just being a part of that Dunbar tradition, man. How you feel about that, man?
Well, man, first of all, it's my pleasure to be on the Red Cup out. The legendary Red Cup. I know it took a lot to get me out here, man, but you know, I really appreciate you guys asking me to come out and whatnot. But getting back to that Dunbar thing, man, when I came in, you know, Joe Dean Davidson had already established Dunbar as the premier inner high program in the city. And Westmore, I came in right after Roy Westmore, and they had won the city championship. So it was some big shoes to fill, and I never forget my first year. The assistant principal was ready to fire me. After the first game, we were getting a team from New York came in, man. They were blitzing us, you know. But one of the things you got to have to be successful is a strong administration. And I never forget Dr. Russo. Dr. Russo told me when she hired me, she said, "Coach," she said, "I want to win like everybody else." She said, "But I want a clean program."
Right.
And from that point on, I knew, you know, she was in my corner, and we were able to you know, withstand that first year. And the next year we went, I think, 27-4, won the city championship. We never looked back. That was the year.
No, come on, we're not talking about that yet. We're not talking about that yet, man.
We ain't ready for that yet.
What year was that?
That was 89.
They had them all.
Yeah, we had a heck of a squad. Donald Ford was on that team, Mike Smith. Tried to get Curt, because see, Mike and Curt, they went to Mackin.
Yeah.
And Mackin was shutting down, or they were trying to get out of it. One or two, I can't remember what the situation. I tried to get Curt, but Curt went up to Coolidge, and Mike came to us, and you know, we had a good run. We had a good run. We split with Coolidge because they had a mob too. You got was Dominguez Bundy on the team?
Dominguez came after me.
Okay.
We had Bill Burnett, John
Bill Burnett.
Yeah.
They had a mob. They had a mob. They came and beat us in our place.
And they got us. They came when
they
got us.
Got them, and we
jam back.
Yeah.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah.
I was a youngster.
Yes, sir.
Stand the room on. All the time.
That was the year Donald. Matter of fact, Donald hit the 3-pointer
on
against
us,
y'all.
and then coming in.
I'm gonna tell a story. When we played Curt and them in that game, and Donald hit the 3, which put us up by 4, and it was like maybe 20-some seconds to go in the game. So they took a timeout, and I told the guys in the huddle, I said, "Look," I said, they need 2 possessions to win. They need 2 possessions to win. It ain't enough time for them to get 2 possessions. So we're going to have them milk some clock. If they score, we take the timeout, we get the ball inbounds, we win the ball game. But lo and behold, they inbound the ball to Curt. Curt took 1 step across half court and hit a 3.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, God damn.
Time over before he dropped.
We time out, because now we got to make free throws. I know we got to make free throws at this point, you know, and put the ball in Lorenzo Thompson's hands. Because he was out clutch free throw shooting.
Man, I'm glad you said that.
Yes,
man, that's one of the guys, man. A lot of people don't even.
They don't know him, right?
Man. So it was tough, man. Tough. Knocked the J down. Can defend, and just knew the game though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Knew
the play before that, when we were in the huddle and we had to score before you hit the shot. Lorenzo said to me, "Let's get the ball in Donald's hand." And as I always say, good players make good coaches.
No doubt.
That's simple.
No doubt.
And that was the thing. He did his little thing and got the ball to Donald. Donald hits a wide open 3. You know, and then, you know, we don't look back from that point.
Yeah, Donald still talk about that still today. You know what I'm saying? Donald got me in junior high, got me in the championship, then coming damn high school and get me the championship.
Then the city title game in
against Carroll.
Yeah. They had Lawrence Moulton, Charlie Moe, Graves. They had a mob.
Nice mob.
They had a mob.
Really nice mob.
Yes, sir. Late in the game, we were down 1 with the ball, and I never forget it. Tim Hawkins took a shot, missed a shot. Well, guys, we would coach situations. We knew we had to foul right away. So Moten gets the rebound. We foul him. We down 1. He goes to the line to shoot 1-and-1. Makes the first one. Put him up 2. So I tell the guys, miss or make, we taking the time out.
Right.
Okay. So he missed the second one. Mike Smith get the rebound. We take the time out. So again, you know, good players make good coaches. You get the ball in the player's hand. But I did diagram a play for Romeo, who was open on the floor, but a lot of people overlook getting the ball in bounds. So I got Donald, who is probably had the highest IQ, basketball IQ of anybody out in coach. You know, so Donald Ford inbounds the ball to Mike Smith because I thought they were going to put a little pressure on us to eat some time. So Donald inbounds to Mike, and Mike 6'8", we got to throw it up, make sure we get it inbound. Mike gets it back to Donald. Romeo's under the basket because I sent him long, and Donald was supposed to look for him long. Donald looked up at the basket and let it go.
Good job, Donald.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hit nothing but bottom, man, and that was history.
That was a good game.
That was, but 14,000 people at that game.
That was a real good game.
And nobody ever led by more than 3 or 4 points the whole ball game, you know, because they were solid. They were solid team.
But there was some games back then, like every night, just the inner high was like every game. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't take a night off. It didn't matter who you played.
Hell no.
Cadoza, 3D. Cadoza have a mob, you know. Anacostia, right. Wink. That's right. That's exactly right. They had no question about it. No question about it. So you had to play. You had to come to a game.
No doubt. No doubt.
Would you classify that as one of the biggest moments, I guess, in your coaching career?
Absolutely. I tell Don Ford all the time, he did more for my career than I
royalties. Talking about the royalties. Talking about royalties. Yeah, talking about the royalties.
But I tell you, I think one of the biggest wins I had, nobody in this area ever saw. We played in Fort Worth, Texas. And we were playing against Dunbar of Fort Worth.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a legendary coach, over 1,000 wins, and I know how they got them 1,000 wins because we was getting some home cooking put on us.
Right.
You know. But so in the first half, you know, my philosophy was always, guy pick up his second foul in the first half, I took him out. Because I always figured we just play in the first half to get to the second half. And I wanted my guys to be able to go in the second half. And so we held the ball. Zoe was on that team. We held the ball. We held the ball for probably about 2.5 minutes at halftime. Just held the ball because we were behind people in foul trouble. Man, they was booing us. They was throwing pennies at us, all kind of crazy stuff. And we went in, going in the locker room at halftime. I'll never forget, the guy hollered at me and said, "Hey, coach, you got to let them play." I said, "Oh, Slim, we going to play the second half." We came out there. Zoe was checking this boy.
Texas Tech.
Yes, sir. He ended up going to Texas Tech real quick. And so Zoe, who was probably the best man-to-man defender I ever had, okay? And this boy was giving Zoe everything he wanted. So said, "Coach, this dude just so quick." I said, "Stay in front of him, Zoe. Stay in front of him."
Right.
But we ended up winning the game, man. And that was probably one of the biggest wins.
First time I see you get out of character too. The dude started throwing pennies at you. You looked around. It's like, the coach might go up in the stands. But them tough environments that year made us who we were.
Tough. Yeah. We traveled everywhere.
Priceless, man.
Y'all was prepared for it already.
Priceless, man. It was priceless environments. Like I said, and then that year, we started off, my senior year, we started off 17th in the country. Number 17, we went to 5 national tournaments. Man, we got us in 5 national tournaments.
That's tough.
Ended up that year 4th in the country. Rashid was number 1.
Simon McGrath
was number 1. They had Red, big boy Rashid.
Stokes
was a young dude then, though. Stokes was younger, 10th grade. It was Oak Hill with McGinnis, Stackhouse, Mark Tajah, them dudes were stacked, and then they had St. Anthony's, and then St. Anthony, and then us.
And we should have been ahead of St. Anthony's because when we won the city title that year, y'all were 40-1, still a record in DC of the most wins of any high school team. That year, they lost. St. Anthony lost.
Oh, I didn't.
They lost.
Mike Gibbs was
10th grade. Them dudes were all young, man. All them guys were young, man.
10th
Him, Donnell Brown, and them dudes, Chris. All them kids was 10th graders, man.
But that mob, that 40-1 mob, man, that was the most overachieving team I had. I didn't have anybody over 6'4" on their squad. You know, but
and him and True a lot of times would say, "Man, that team did this." I liked our team, Bone, and the reason I liked our team, what you don't really see nowadays is dudes love and cherish their roles.
Right.
You know what I mean? Meaning whatever your role was, this dude made you love that role.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody was, everybody was not trying to get theirs and do this, that. Man, he gave us roles. We knew the times we was going in the game, about the time we was going to check out. It was like a well-oiled machine, and all we did was press all game. At that time, you had the 40 minutes of hell in Arkansas. It was a lot of that shit going on at the time. Vegas was pressing, and so a lot of that, and then a lot of coach. We did a lot of stuff Georgetown was doing.
Georgetown was pressing.
It was pressing in time with your brother and them and the whole, so we took on that philosophy because we knew we were small. And used to always say this, I never forget. I took it, into my coaching days. Basketball, the way we played, basketball is a game of spurts.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a game of spurts. If you can get many spurts in the way we playing, we get as many spurts, man. We'll get them done. And a lot of teams, you'll find out their character after maybe the first 10, 12 minutes of that game. You know what I mean? A lot of the first 2 minutes of that game. So that team was a pretty good team, like I said, because I think guys took on their role.
See, we throw that 55 press on you, and I learned that press in '89 when I was working with Coach Thompson with the Olympic team. And that's when I picked that press up. And we would throw that 55 press on you. We knew, like you said, we knew we were going to get some runs. We were going to get a 10-2 run, or 14-3 run. We were going to get there. And we get a couple of those runs, that team was done.
It's a wrap.
It was a wrap.
We on the bench at third. The third, Mike Gill in play. Like I said, the younger dudes, they playing, which was getting that experience. You know what I mean?
And one of the things with that press, I used to always reiterate to those guys, we're going to give up some layups from time to time.
Yeah, that's what presses do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can get
more than you get.
We're going to get more than we get.
Right. I definitely understand that. So, Roach, man, did you come from Dunbar? You played with Coach Mike, and you coached Dunbar.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, that had to be, you know what I'm saying, one of your goals, or
it's sort of like home, and to give you an out of body experience, man. When they tore down this old Dunbar and put this new one up, I felt some kind of way, Bone, because in that building, this dude what he instilled in us, Bone, carries over to me as a grown man. You know what I mean? The trips we were on, the way he coached us, how he coached us, the sayings he would say as a youngster you didn't really get. You know what I mean? Till you got older, and then you got to start dealing with knuckleheads yourself. You know what I mean? All of that stuff was relevant. And then when I got the chance, after I came home, actually I came home from college, degree and everything. I was home with Mom for like 6 months. I figured, if I get a degree, I should be able to get a job. Go up to the school and see him. Sure enough, guess who gets me down on the job? Come on, let's go down to the principal, man. You got a degree in this, boom, boom, boom. I started teaching, and at the time, Lamp was kind of on his way out. So I took over from Lamp. So things kind of fell in place again through the coach. You know what I mean? If I don't go up there and check him, see how he doing, none of that would have happened. And coming back to coach, again, big shoes. He just named all the coaches before him. So now, at that time, Lamp had took over with Chase and
they won it.
And B and them, and New and them, which was another thorough team. A lot of people don't get up that team. They had a model. That's some pro Nunu. That dude Nunu, they don't give him enough credit. I know Chase and them did their thing and Bernard them do their thing. Without that dude right there, I'm taking him over a lot. Trust me on
every
that.
team.
Oh no, personally, but when I used to see him, I was like, man, that kid right there can do it. I mean, you know what I mean? He bring a lot to the table. So, getting the job, and then when I had a lot of people don't know this. When I got the job, Lamp brought in SpongeBob was there. SpongeBob was there, and then Lamp, I was getting ready to say, keeping them. Lanny and them some of you, Keith Blanks, Trey, Daniel Battle, Reggie Mason. But the thing with me was keeping these jokers in school. At that time, them dudes was a little off the chain. So we lost SpongeBob. Ended up losing Keith Blanks, so we didn't start. We played all summer league with them, which was easy summer league. With all that talent like that, man, wasn't a whole lot I can coach. You know what I mean? By the time we got into some stuff, beginning of the game, blowing them games wide open. So we were really that good talently, as far as talent, but we couldn't. I couldn't keep them guys together. So the core group that I had there, little Paul Wayne was coming up through. You know what I mean? Trey, Reggie Mason, and then
Vernon Davis.
Big Vernon. And see, the thing about Vernon wasn't even a basketball player. But Vernon was a big body and could go hard. That's all he did.
I played against that team.
He just went hard. It was times I had to take Vernon out of practice because we was getting rebounds, knocking people over. He was hurting people. I mean, not even trying.
Earl Risby made that thing work.
But that was a little later on. But see, that was later. That was later. Because what happened was
he was a good player.
Randy got kicked out of DeMatha. So I get a call from Coach like, Randy came over. So I was like, another dude fell in my lap.
Right.
So we get Randy. Then all of a sudden, Lanny and them send me Earl.
Randy's mother worked at Howard.
Oh.
And I was coaching at Howard at the time. And she told me, she said, I got a son, Randy, and Randy had gone to my camp. Oh. And that's when I said, hey man, you gotta look at this dude here. This young
and he had played with Curt and them. I mean, he had played with Lanny and them for a minute, but he wasn't one of the top guys. You know what I mean? Right. He was playing behind what you do, Val Brown. You know what I mean? He was younger, so he couldn't get none of those minutes. Right. So ended up getting there, and then lo and behold, like y'all just said, the straw to stir it off. Man, Earl Risby, like you say, IQ. Yeah. Probably the best in my young coach career. Probably the best IQ I've coached. Right. Earl was pushing dudes where they needed to be, tricking dudes into thinking they was better than what they are. I mean, he had it.
Earl can practice your ball.
Earl was special. Yeah. And a quick story about Earl. Earl, I used to always say, true. If something's going too smooth with Earl, it ain't right. Right. We would get up. We had a story. We would go up to we went up to Wilson, play Wilson. I'm in the locker room, I'm looking around, making sure everybody ready to play, looking at everybody. So Earl looks in his bag, and he left one of his shoes in the locker room down by. But it was stuff like that, like true. Somebody got to get their shoes
right.
They playing, we get them later. We get them. Somebody got to get their shoes. Whoever wears close to those sides, somebody got to get them. Right. That night, he gets 17. 12 and 7. You know what I mean? But it was always stuff like that. Him coming, I used to tell him, meet me in the gym, halftime of the girls' game. You know, go downstairs, we change up. Here come Earl coming in while we in the layup line. That night we played against National Christian. Earl 28, 12, and like 7 again. It's like, Joe, I'm just noticing something. If it ain't dysfunction, right? He can't play. I mean, Earl was definitely special, bro. That's for sure, man. But coming back coaching, I couldn't have dreamt that, man. I couldn't even imagine me coming back as a player. You know, getting the keys to that car, man, and then having those players that you know, like that. You know what I mean? Through the help of Moose, Damon, you know, Curtis, Coach. You know what I mean? The relationships I have built over the years, which made them guys feel comfortable to send those kids to me. Right. You know what I mean? All them guys raised me. Curtis, Coach, and you know, them guys know me since I was a kid, so they know my personality, know what type of kids I like, know, you know, that sort of thing. So the credit to them, man. You know, you can't build a program unless you got people around you, man.
I had a player, Big Frank Chambers.
Yep. And one of my best friends.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Big Frank.
My best friend.
Coach from Virginia Union. Coach from Virginia Union. He was pressing me about Frank. You know, I said, Coach Rob, I said, no problem. I said, you can get Frank. I said, but I got a guard I need you to take a look at. Right. I said, and you will not regret recruiting him. And I told Zoe, I said, you need to go down there with Virginia Union. They're going to have a little workout and whatnot. Next thing you know, Zoe on the national championship team at Virginia Union.
But you know, it's so funny you said, though, Coach, like back then versus now, just the D.C. public school system. Back then, man, getting kids in school was y'all main goal.
That was the goal.
That was the goal. It wasn't about your record. It wasn't about your winning percentage. It was about at the end of the day. Right. When these kids graduate, we gotta get them in school.
I used to tell my guys all the time, you know, we had certain guys like Johnny Rhodes, Mike Smith, they gonna get recruited heavy. Right. You know. But the rest of those guys, man, like Rome, 5'4" point guard, you know, I would tell them in a heartbeat, man, the first one offer, that's where we're going. You know, because that's the goal, to get you guys in school somewhere. You know, we were forced.
Because that year, my biggest offers were Manhattan and Townsend. But I didn't get my score. Right. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you who was at Manhattan. I went down, ACC came at a good camp. Mariucci down there, against the Philly guys and New York guys, took the camp. All them dudes supposed to been good. You know, me playing D, that was my name. So, and then, you know, it was Fran, what's his name? Fran Fratello was their coach. They're coming in my room, everybody was asleep, calling me out there. You know what I mean? So those two were my biggest offers. But when I get my score, like Coach was saying, well, I don't know if you're going to get this. You might need to go check out this D. You know, I'm going to send you down to this, you know, giving me the next option. Meaning, don't look like you're going to get a score, but we ain't going to stop here. Like you said, bro, we're going to continue to place you somewhere I know you'll fit in.
Case in point, Sean Winfrey, Gatorade Player of the Year. Yep. Didn't get his score, but was a hell of a player for me. And we got Sean down at Polk Community College. And from Polk Community College, he went up to West Virginia,
Fairmont,
right down in Florida.
Yeah, Coach,
then he went to Fairmont State, got his degree, played up there, you know, did his
West
thing.
Virginia.
You know, yeah. The bottom line was getting him in school, man. That was the bottom line.
Always been the deal. I want to ask you, Coach. So obviously legendary coach in the area. How was that transition from, you know, coaching a well-renowned high school team, and now you going to the big leagues, Division I, you going to the MEAC, in the area? So I would assume, you know, you home, you plugged in. How was that transition, and what did you take, I guess, from your high school experience, or who was your mentor to help you to hit the ground running on the collegiate level? Because I guess you couldn't run Howard like you ran Dunbar.
Yeah, that was a difficult situation. First of all, my mentor was John Thompson. That was my mentor. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Going to Howard, I was behind the 8 ball from Jump Street. But I got the job on October 3rd. Practice starts October 15th.
Oh wow!
You know, late. So got a late start.
None of your players.
None of my players.
Right.
None of my players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was right. Got to get the staff together. You know, the whole nine.
Yeah.
So the first year was, and then another part that was tough. We didn't have a president or an athletic director.
Oh, wow.
So I'm behind the 8 ball.
So you Ray Charles.
Hey, coach, but say who was on your staff though, because both of them are Division I head coaches right now.
Who was on my staff? Oh, Mike Jones.
Head coach.
Mike Jones, right. And Kevin Nickelberg, right?
Oh, Nickelberg
was on my staff.
Two Division I head coaches.
Right. I got a little treat.
Right.
The thing up there though, it was tough, man. And then we were building young. We recruited Jabari Hoots. Matter of fact, when I left, I had 3, maybe 4 players that went Big East. Transfer. Singletary went to Boston College with John Lanahan, who went to Providence.
That was a kid from up Jersey.
Right.
Yeah.
Simon Ogunleze.
That's the one chasing them was saying.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the one that they had trouble with.
Right.
The one they had trouble with.
The thing was, we were so young, and when the new president came in, you know, he wanted his man. You know, so they did not renew my contract. You know, which was cool. You know, that's part of the business. You know. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to land on my feet, went to UDC, took them to the Division II playoffs, you know, and got things done. So it was a learning experience. To answer your question, the transition, I learned to be me. When I went to Howard, I'm thinking, okay, I'm Division I, you know, like you say, I can't do things the same way I did high school. But yes, I could. Yes, I could. It's just a matter of getting the players. You know, once you get the players that can buy into what you want to do and who want to be coached. See, a lot of kids can play. A lot of kids, and I coached this dude right here in the USBL.
Yeah, that been good days too.
Wanted to be coached. You know, see, it's a difference in having talent and wanting to be coached, or having talent and thinking you the coach.
Please say that again. So a lot of people,
you know,
a lot of people don't get that.
And I look at the way the situation is now, where these parents are spending so much money working with these personal trainers and this type
tell me about it.
Home baby.
Tell me about it.
And I'm not knocking
Home
them
baby.
personal trainers.
Fuck that.
Home baby.
You're not knocking it. You keep it real.
If you invest that money into some SAT programs, because if I'm recruiting you and y'all pretty much the same, you might not be as good as him, okay? But you got the SAT. You qualified, and Slim. Now I got to go. I got to.
You got to go to home? Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm not sure that a lot of the parents understand that test score in that situation.
Hey, Coach, but even at your situation, I think is even more difficult because it's an educational. I mean, it's an academic institution.
Oh,
so it's almost like a double-edged sword. So not only D1, you're trying to get a type of kid. Academically, the school is already kind of ridiculous because it's hard. It's already hard to kind of keep up. So.
I told the president, President Schweiger, when he came in, I told him, I said, we need to consider going into the Patriot League.
Yeah.
who has the same academic goals that we had at Howard.
And you can get more kids.
Exactly.
Your standard wasn't the same in the MEAC.
Exactly. See,
Now, would they let the HBCU and the Patriots?
well, I don't know it, especially at that time. You know, that's early 90s, you know. But my thought process was, you got Coppin State, you got South Carolina State. They sitting players out. They bringing in Prop 48s. Okay, I can't sit nobody out.
You can't do it.
You know, and that's a whole different ball game, man.
No props. Y'all can't even take JUCOs, right? Can you take JUCOs?
At that time, we couldn't.
No, see, that's
They a lot of restrictions, man. They still don't.
No,
They still don't.
And you figure, and that's why you figure a university like Howard, right here in the heart of our city, they can't get players.
But one thing
With
about
all this talent here, you figure all this talent here, they should be competing for the MEAC every year.
Right.
If you just talk about talent in the city.
and one thing about their coach now, Kevin Nickelberg can recruit. And I don't, you know, I know when Kevin get on the kid, he gonna get that kid. That's why they had the leading scorer in the nation a couple years ago.
Yeah, up there.
And the boy that they had last year, I can't think of his name.
He was a highly recruited, like 4 or 5 star kid.
Right.
Yeah, some guard.
It was
point guard out of New Jersey.
He ended up transferring, right? I think he transferred.
Well, no, that's the kid that led Nation in scoring. They just recruited like a 4-star point guard out of New Jersey.
Okay.
First time they signed a 4-star kid, they did a bunch of write-ups on him.
Nick can recruit. The question is, can he keep
restrictions up
right?
And another thing, Nickelberg, he's very forward thinking. If you ever seen some pieces on him, you know, I've done some research. Nickelberg is a innovative, forward thinking dude.
Man, Nickelberg a wild motherfucker. Y'all, that's my man. Good dude, a wild motherfucker. But speaking of our program now, man, I gotta congratulate my man Lord Jordan Brooks, man, for getting the job up there.
Oh yeah.
Just got the job like a week ago.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? He on the staff there now.
Sweet.
That right.
You know what I'm saying? Great young man. I think he can go a long way. You know what I'm saying? He love the game. He remind me of you on that just always just talking the game and talking about players, you know what I'm saying, just wanting to get better at what he does, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta congratulate my man on that, you know what I'm saying? But
I got one more question, Coach. So now we talk about the USBL.
Jay Butler.
So now we on like the professional level.
Right.
So now it ain't about recruiting, it ain't about you know.
It's about the bag. Look at the bag. We talking the bag.
Yeah.
So now what's the deal? Now you ready to rock and roll. So how was that experience?
That was a great experience. And I'm gonna tell you what happened. The guy called me at the last minute and said, we got a United States Basketball League team here in DC, and I need you to put it together.
Coach Rob.
And I was fortunate, because being from DC and cats knew me, I could get Curt Smith. I could get Greg Jones, Lonnie Harrell.
Oh wow.
You know, Art Crowder,
Moochie
Norris,
Wow.
you know. So again, you know, yes sir.
Top flight.
So it's about players, and
Jones,
especially on that level.
wow.
On that level, we did a lot of ISOs. You know, I was telling the guy the other day, we were talking. Jay Walker, who is former quarterback at Howard University, played the league. We were talking about high school basketball, and I was telling Curt, you know, I said as small as Curt was, Curt could always get his shot off against all the big dudes. You know, Curt was a player of the year that year that we were in that league. First year we went to the playoffs and should have won it. We should have won it. You know, we won this off the
You know, so wild, Roach, about the one thing for when playing for Coach Mack, and I'm pretty sure you experienced it also. One thing I like about him as a coach, he always puts certain situations in players' hands.
Oh yeah.
It just wasn't about him all the time.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? We done had conversations, man. What you think, man?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, like, man, he ain't doing this tonight. What you think, man?
He with that, like with his coaches too.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. We all trying to win.
Exactly. And that's
me.
the thing that stood out to me with Coach, man. He just was smooth dude on the court. You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
And see,
nothing bothered him, man.
And a lot of people get so full of themselves,
Right.
at them positions to where they become a hindrance to their own success.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like you say, that's Coach though.
See, I always figured, number one, we all in this thing together.
Exactly.
But number two, you got to have confidence in yourself that you surrounded yourself with people who you can trust, who can help you.
Right.
You know, that was my staff. You know, Butch Cherry, Trueheim McCray, Lafayette Moses. You know, we take the time out. I'm going to them. What y'all see?
Right.
You know, they suggested I'm gonna make the decision. You know, you might come to me and say, Coach, I think we might need to try some man to man. I said, no, they penetrating too hard on us. You know, we might want to go zone. You know, but at least you're giving me that input.
Right.
Yeah, as far as the guys, they on the floor. They know who they can beat and who they can't beat.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna come to Curt. What you think, man? You know, we're in this situation right here. What you think we ought to run?
Any conversation
you know?
like that, man.
Yes, sir.
Game,
yes, sir.
I'm talking game time clutch situation.
Right.
And then when you respect the player's IQ, like you say, the smartest kid on a high school level coach was Earl. Earl was giving suggestions when they ain't even want them. Go ahead, Earl. That sounds good. You know what I mean? Because I trust, like you said, what he see out there. Because I know he know the game.
We're playing in Atlantic City, and Curt probably don't even remember this. We playing in Atlantic City. Late in the game, we were down.
Shout out to the Seagulls.
Down.
Shout out to the Seagulls. We won that thing. We won that thing. Shout out to Coach Mackey and the Seagulls.
We were down 2. Late in the game, timeout. Curt said, Coach, you got to draw something up. You got to draw something up. And I told Curt, I said, what do you think about Lonnie Harrell? Can he hit this jumper? Is he clutch? Can he hit this jumper? So we ran.
That's what I like about Harrell. You know what I'm saying? He going, yeah.
We ran little stagger screen for Lonnie to come off that stagger screen, inbound the ball to him. He hits the 3. You know, that's why I say good players make good coaches.
Right. Also, too, you know, Lonnie is man, so you know what I mean.
I was saying at the game that time. You know, I was in the game that time. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember that though?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I drafted him. Shout out to you, Prime.
That goes back to saying that's the one that stood out about you. You know what I'm saying? You talk to your player, you communicate with them. During the game though. You know what I'm saying? But it's not no where you cussing them out. It's smooth.
But you know what I'm saying? It is. You know what it is? And again, I had a chance to obviously play for you, Coach Matt, and these guys have had an opportunity to play under you and everything. But all the things I've heard is like, so basically, you know how we talk about players, we can talk about different players and their skill set and then before their time. Mm-hmm. The way coaching is today, as far as I'm concerned, the way I coach is, I guess, indicative of what they're saying, how you coach. Mm-hmm. So, in essence, your style was before its time. Because dudes like Steve Kerr, dudes that coach now, basically doing what they say you did, but it's the 80s and the 90s.
Right.
I think I'm pretty on point.
No, yeah, you are. You definitely are. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And that's I think right now,
a lot of egos with coaches these days.
Yes.
You know?
Right. There you go.
It's about them.
Yeah.
And so, at the end of the day, you know, what I would say to a certain extent, it's definitely a dictatorship. You run the ship.
Oh yeah.
But you do give some input. It was a democracy.
Right.
You run the show.
But one of the lines I used to use all the time was just what you just said, that this is not a democracy. It is a dictatorship. Mm-hmm. But I gave them input.
Right, exactly.
You know, and they would suggest me. When I say it was a dictatorship, it's because I'm going to make the final decision on it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to take into consideration what y'all, because I respect their knowledge of the game as well.
And then, it was so crazy about Coach Mack, though. We had a conversation. We on the road one night. So we just talking this shit. Mac, like, man, everybody on the team's from in the high. So he like, man, I done coached against all these absolutely. So Mac, Mac like, man, we should go out there and play basketball.
That's right, just play ball.
You know what I'm saying? This crazy one night, we was in New York somewhere after the game. So me and Moochie went out, you know, got some eating shit, and we just sitting there talking like. And we just named all the guys on the team. We like, man, we got the whole we got the herb on our team. But not only that, we got the best coach for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And we like, damn, like we gotta make this shit happen. A bunch of guys, but just you know what I'm saying. But no bullshit. All that came together, man. And you was the reason why. You got to think. Up until that time, Coach Mack, everybody wasn't cool with each other.
Right. Wow.
Everybody would say, "What's up?" I wasn't no beefing on that, but I'm saying what like we hung together.
Competition over the years.
That mob right there brought a lot of unity together, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like right now today, me and Greg Jones like best friends. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Me and Moochie talk all the time. And you know what I'm saying? Me and Lon. I mean, it's crazy how just that mob and having that right coach put all that shit together.
I'm gonna tell you something else about that mob right there. People don't know they wasn't getting paid. it was funky with the checks.
Really?
It was funky with the checks, man. You know, now one person didn't pay with me. I made sure it's Slim.
Mac was in that bag.
I made
Talk
sure
about the bag.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
pay about the bag.
But the beautiful thing was,
I ain't gonna say nothing.
they would come to me. They would come to me and say, Coach, we ain't
got
got
his
paid.
bag.
We ain't got paid.
Still got his bag.
Oh yeah, you didn't know what was going on.
Right. We ain't got paid, but they stayed together.
Yeah.
They stayed
We
together
ain't quit.
despite all of
Yeah,
that.
we ain't quit.
Right. They could have split. They could have left up right on up out there. The next year,
They got
they
better.
wasn't putting up with that.
But you know so well, then you know we tripping. Daryl Prue was our vet on that team.
Oh, Prue was on that mother too.
Prue was the vet. Yep. Prue was a savvy vet on the team.
Yep.
Prue was a vet on the team. So we looking at Prue like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But he kept a lot of shit together.
One thing I said about he always had that niche to do that. You know what I mean? Bring guys. And the best I've ever seen him as a youngster sitting on the bench, because Nate and I were the only 2 10th graders to make that team with Johnny, Scoop, my brother. You know what I mean? That team. And I used to say to myself, man, Mac be in my ass sometimes. This motherfucker is never in Romeo's ass. And Romeo said, you know what? We always on the same page. I know what Coach Mac wants.
Right.
Your little ass better learn it. Your little ass better learn it. You know, as a little young dude coming out of junior high, you got a lot of, it's like, I'm telling you, if you don't get on the same page with this dude, your ass gonna be sitting, your ass gonna be sitting over here. So, but like you said, he always had that niche to do that though, man. That not to you know what I mean, to pull it together.
Another thing that's kind of different too, again, that's kind of innovative before its time is like, so now, you know, you got guys like Mike Jones at DeMatha, or you can talk about Paul VI or whatever. You know, these schools these Catholic schools that are privy to pretty much having D1 players every year.
Right.
We talking 80s, early 90s. You getting D1? You had D1 play. You had all kind of collegiate players back then.
We were fortunate, man. You know, first of all, I always say, winning recruits for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dunbar had a tradition, and we were fortunate enough to carry it on. And from that point, cats wanted to come to play for us. You know, Earl Tyson, Pep Tyson. You know, he
Transferred from Woodson.
You know, Claude Green, he transferred from Bethesda Chevy Chase. You know, we didn't go after them. Their parents brought them to me. You know, and the rule I had, I probably couldn't make it in today's game, was y'all can't come in my practice. See, we didn't allow the parents to come in. That wasn't happening. You know, because you talking about
Shout out to Team Takeover.
you talking about fussing and cussing. We did all that in practice. You know, I'd be in there behind. Our practices were tougher than games. You know, but I'm not going to embarrass them out on the floor. You know, when you got people all up in the stands and cussing out there, I might pull you over to the side and ask you, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck is that? Shut the fuck up. You know, but we're not going to, and I think that was one of the reasons why cats respected me. You know, because they knew I wasn't going to chump them, I wasn't going to question their manhood, you know. But when we in that gym and they know, and we used to lock the doors.
I was going to say,
We locked the doors.
That's supposed to be.
Once you lock the doors,
That's how it was.
you know what it is.
I guess I would ask you too. Did you have any, I guess, recruitment that was just out of this world, like, or were they pretty much the same? Like, you know, I think like D4. Like, I remember I played with D4, right, with Coach Riley Gore, and D4 was like,
Riley Gore, my man.
back then D4 was like the black version of Damon Bailey. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, you know, 8th grader that was like, you know, this kid right here.
I'm gonna tell you
He
something.
Sports Illustrated.
I'm gonna tell you something.
You know, I had a little picture with, you know, maybe a swimmer from Colorado or some shit. Like,
I'm gonna tell you
you know what I'm saying? So
D4,
like, but you had a
D4,
recruitment that was out of this world more than the other. I mean, you had a lot of top flight dudes. I mean,
we would recruit in a sense like this. Johnny Rhodes, for example. I never saw Johnny play in junior high.
This is a wild story, right?
Never saw him play. But I had so much confidence in my staff. Truhan McCray, he's told me, he said, man, Coach, they got this kid, Johnny Rhodes, out Southeast. We got to get him.
Hold. Out of Southeast or Southeast?
Southeast. Right. So Truhan would sit on Johnny Rhodes every game. Johnny Rhodes. Truhan there with his Dunbar gear on. He formed that relationship. So we get Johnny Rhodes. We had what's the boy's name? Kevin Johnson. Yeah. From Evans. We were trying to get Kevin Johnson and Attila Cosby.
Big Tiller.
We trying to get both of them. Okay. So we end up getting kept. Tiller, and I'll tell you a story on why we didn't get Tiller in a minute. But Butch Curt. Every time I told Butch, I said, every time they take the floor, you be in the gym. Every time they take the floor, you be in the gym with your Dunbar gear on. And that's how it went.
That's how it's supposed to be,
man.
That's how it's supposed to be.
We didn't
Shout out to Butch. Shout out to Butch. Shout out to Butch. One of my mentors too. Shout out to Butch.
Attila. Tell you what happened was the coach from Evans wouldn't let me talk to Attila. He said he going to the map.
Oh.
He said he going to the map.
So
they had a track meet. We had a track meet at Dunbar. I'm sitting up in the stands at the track meet, and the coach, he comes to me and he says, hey Matt, why don't you go in there and get me a coat out of the teacher's lounge? Go in there and get me a coat. I said, Slim. I said, you won't even let me talk to your player. But you want me to get you a coat? You know, he said, well, you know, man, I never forget that dog down there. He said, you know, man, he said, when the white man come calling, you got the answer. I said, ain't that some shit?
They doing a lot of that shit now, man. They doing a lot of that shit.
That's how we didn't get it to.
You know he was great cut Johnny, right? He didn't tell you that, did he?
Nah.
Great cut Johnny was he had a bad couple practices.
It was loaded though. I mean, I can see where it wasn't great cut Johnny.
I said, Johnny,
tell us the way, coach.
I said, Johnny, I'll tell you what, man. I said, I'm gonna send you down to JV. Johnny looked at me. Johnny said, that's fucked up.
That sound like you
said. Tell us what
being disrespectful? No, was that being disrespectful? So I said, well, I tell you what, Slim. I said, I'm gonna give you till Friday. You gotta show me something, man.
That was the shit right there.
You gotta show me something. You gotta show something.
Give me your stage. Let me give you the stage one more time. Show me what you can do.
And the rest was history.
The competition was so good back then.
Yo, it was so thick.
You probably saying we got another motherfucker that might can step in and do this.
It's so
You know what I'm saying?
I went from
Johnny Rose a bad motherfucker.
Man,
no question.
Joe, I had so many days in practice, man. Rome used to always say, man, you gotta work on your left. Because if you come in the gym, Jay Rose not playing. I was like, man, I don't want to hear that. I'm leaving Turtle Junior High School. Me and Nate Laney busting everybody. We busting everybody else. Me and Nate Laney was busting everybody else. Like, man, I got a man. Johnny almost made me cry.
Your brother trying to put you on game.
Always, but you know, as a little brother, big brother, used to be like, we
had another dude, and hell of a nice guy named Anthony Brent.
Oh, they know Brent. Brent played. Brent played.
And so Brent,
what's up, Poobie?
Brent was trying out for the team, and I was about to cut because I never kept over 12 players on my team, and Brent was number 13, and Brent, we were getting ready to cut Brent, and Brent lost his mom, and I told my staff, I said, we ain't cutting him. I said, ain't no way in the world we're gonna cut this brother here. He gonna be on the team. And Brent stayed on that team and got better and better. Never complained. Never complained one bit. You know, when he got his chance to get in the games, he did his thing. And Brent could have played on a lot of other
Could
have played on a lot of
no bullshit.
But Brent did his thing, man. And to this day, Brent is coaching now. He coaching the little youth league team. You know, I follow him on Facebook, man. And
good
he's
dude.
doing good dude.
But you had the neck to do that because it was a lot of us I could have easily went to any other school and put that thing up as many times as I want to. He was like, look, Slim, that ain't what this is.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't gonna learn nothing over there. You ain't gonna, you damn sure ain't gonna win nothing because you ain't beating us.
Y'all ain't beating us.
So, you know, you can learn here, go to school, get better. Y'all can win this together. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it was a whole lot.
But then go back to what I'm saying. Guys want to be coached.
Yeah, but like you said, and you go about your recruiting compared to today, man. There's two guys I think today, old school guys. You got Malcolm Ballard, Chavez.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Great coach, great guy. You got Rob Niggs at Roosevelt. As far as just they go out and get guys,
right?
And that's what it's all about. You can't just sit back and expect players to come. You got to. Like you said, You got to put your school shit on.
Right.
You got to let them know what you said there for.
And you know what, Bone? A lot of them dudes are still stuck in that year where you could do that.
Right.
With now, like we were just telling Coach before we started the show, I said the reason Rob is able to get these players is because Rob going in every gym, every area you go. Butch called me, I was like, Joe, I don't really got to join with Rob. Man, Rob called me, I'm trying to get my nephew. I said, more power to Rob, because that's how it's supposed to be done. Everybody's expect you
Rob
to
might
send.
Rob might be out water up trying
There
to
you go. Everybody expect you to be sending you dudes. I said, that day over.
Yeah,
That day over. You got to go get them dudes and go get them, man, if you want
I'm
one.
gonna tell you about Rob. Rob is one of them cats, man, who was a student of the game. Rob will call me and say, Coach, Coolest got me the other day. They played the zone. What did you run? I remember you used to run that play for Deion Murray.
Rob remembers shit.
And he said, that's another dude got a bunch of tapes.
Yeah.
Get with Rob.
He said, I remember you used to run that play for Deion Murray, man. Give me a couple of them zone offenses. You know? So Rob don't have a problem calling and saying, I need some help with something.
But that's how you gotta be.
Exactly.
That's how you gotta be.
Bone, I've been to some Roosevelt games, and somehow Rob has made eye contact with me.
Yeah.
I promise you, I don't know how Rob will look up in the stands and get eye contact with me, because he know I be in them games, yo. At times, Coach used to always tell me when I was coaching, so you still playing, man.
Right. Stop playing.
So you want these moms to act and play like you harder. He's like, so you got, and Rob will keep that vibe, and I shoot something to him, and I don't know where he picking up on it, but like you say, the dude got a knock because he all in.
Right.
He gonna do what it take to get players in the league. And for me now, looking at the DCI, and we all played in it, in the NII, that shit ain't the same. It's tough to watch, bro. And that's why I say it's so.
I don't call
so
that.
tough.
I'm NII. Fuck that DCI shit. I'm
It's so tough to
NII.
watch, bro.
I'm NII.
From where? From DC County.
I ain't not playing
From
DCI
DC
double A. I played in NII.
From DC County.
I know DCI. They changed this thing. I don't know. What the fuck is that? I played in the NII, not no DCI double A.
When I've seen the D thickest,
Yeah, fuck all that shit.
When you start naming them teams back when y'all played bone, it's ridiculous the talent on them teams. Like,
Yeah.
from Coolidge, like you say, Cadoza,
See, Anaconda, Frank Martin, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Frank Anaconda,
You guys get no bullshit.
What the boy name played at Phelps?
Tutu.
Yeah,
I had major pride. I saw him every time he played, so I got to chase this motherfucker around coach.
You didn't
All
have
the
an easy
time.
night. You did not have an easy night.
It's just so different, you know.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. The coaches during that time, they could coach.
Yeah.
Henry Lindsay, Tommy Hargrove, Ferrello, those guys could coach. They could coach, man. They could coach.
And like you say, man, no disrespect to me, because I'm a DC public school, proud of, taught in it, played in it, went to DC public school. It's just so hard. And like you say, my hat off to them guys who in it, man. But it is so hard to watch, bro. I'm sitting in them games, man. And they come back and hire me because I DJ and I play the music. I'm up there looking at some of them games going like, wow,
But
just
see,
no.
it's a private school world now, though.
Yeah,
but it don't have to be.
It don't have to be.
You know, see, but the difference was back in our era, kids just venture toward doing the public school thing, be it Anaheim or PG County or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I get what you're saying, but I think right now,
as it has evolved, the private thing is the way to go. So that's how it just kind of watered down and saturated the league.
The way to go. It's just the people, they trust in it a little more.
Well, some of them don't live in DC though. I mean, a lot of guys of your generation moved to Maryland. Your kids was raised in Maryland.
Right.
And the fact they got a charter school on every corner.
Yeah, the charter school is on another.
My whole thing is it's still public school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of them kids too, and used to say this a lot. Private school ain't for everybody, bro.
Right.
I ain't no ABC. I'm a C dude, B minus at best.
Bro,
I don't know. The Mac recruited me, and my brother Rome ain't talked to me for a week.
And that's what I don't understand. I don't just talk about this shit to talk about it. I experienced that shit.
Exactly.
I went from motherfucking Harris Elementary from pre-kindergarten to 6th grade. 6th grade to Kelly Miller, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And here I'm at Mackin. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Because it's definitely a different curriculum.
All boys school.
But I tell you you one thing.
No wound walking around. I'm like, hold up, what the fuck is going on?
But I'll tell you one thing though.
You got your little clown suit on there.
Yeah, hold up. Go to
You got a little clown suit on there too.
You know what I'm
When
saying?
I was at Dunbar, the staff at Dunbar,
Shout out to Largo.
those teachers, they took pride in working with those kids. I mean, it wasn't nothing for them to give up their lunch hour to give you some
A little extra time to do it. Exactly.
Yeah, that was done by the time.
But that's
I
another
got-
thing,
got
Coach
to
Mac. I think a lot of times, man, and a lot of these kids when they go from public to private schools, man. Just me. I'm only speaking from experience. So it's not like I'm talking some bullshit. I'm talking. I've been through it. It's like you setting some motherfuckers up for failure.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't get away with not get away, but you can't just be yourself. You got to. If you fuck up today, that shit over.
One of the kids. That's how I got ready.
Public school is like they know what's up.
Right.
That's
right. Right.
Okay, well, let's do this, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's work on this, let's work on that. Them private joints saying it ain't like them kids when they you leaving these schools to go to. I'm like, I be telling certain. I'm like, yo, man, I'm telling you, that kid, we will never hear from this kid again.
So
And the shit has happened.
So true, man.
That shit has happened. This shit ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? School is school.
Right.
School has to fit the individual.
All of them guys,
You know what I'm saying?
Them guys that I got, the Earl Risby,
Yeah.
the Randy Hamptons, the Toe, and them kids. Them kids couldn't make it in private schools, man. And the shit that Randy got put out for, man, I still couldn't believe it. Tomorrow he had some books and he sold them to another kid. They put him out of school. I said, come on, man.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have done that in different circumstances.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and
But
this,
see, our teachers lived it too.
Yeah.
So we understand.
And that was a different,
That was different.
Right. Getting back to Max.
So some of the stuff is bad advice. So you can say some
No,
of
no,
it's bad
no,
advice. Some of it's bad advice, right?
Yeah, it is bad advice.
It's bad advice,
No,
right?
Right, what I'm saying, just getting back to, I'm speaking from experience I've been through as far as like, I'm like, damn, I'm Mac, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Ain't nobody in this motherfucker but dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, we, you know what, every day you gotta wear this.
something just not accustomed to.
Yeah, I'm looking for a nice little chick with some tight jeans and shit. But I look up in class, I got a goddamn nun with dressed, covered everything.
Shout out to Largo. Shout out to Largo.
I can't do this, man. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do this, man. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the shit, what people don't understand, a lot of that shit goes with a kid being comfortable as far as wanting to go to school.
Yeah.
And another thing too, at Dunbar, a credit to him and us, and a credit to the hoods we were in. You got Surgeon Quarters there, you got Fifth and Low, you got Detroit Park. Man, them dudes was our biggest fans.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, they come every game.
A dude like Pep could transfer from Woodson or whatever, or whoever, come in, and them dudes was safe.
And they gonna
them
love
dudes
them.
them dudes never had a problem. Whatever they beefs was that they were in, they didn't involve us. Them dudes kept that separate.
Because they cared about they cared about
Exactly. They
cared
kept all that away from us, man.
They cared about the athletic program, man.
We talked about the dudes, we won't say no names, back when I was 12. I used to get up to the games and watch y'all play. Dudes used to be up in the stands getting it done. Hey, man, we're gonna be up such and such by such and such. They stop. I'm looking at stacks of
Shout out
money.
to the bag. Shout out to the bag.
I'm looking 12 years
Shout out
old.
to the
You know
bag.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Dudes was, you know what I
Shout
mean?
out to the bag.
But them dudes kept the athletes away from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't.
Oh no, you come on, get the fuck away with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Take this motherfucking covered hours, you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's exactly right.
And then you gotta think like, and that's what I think a lot of these guys are missing. Me, when I was in school, I was fortunate to know the Melvin Middletons, the Bootney Greens, and them guys that the Earl Moores, niggas that went through that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, look, man, here you go, man. Just look, all you gotta do is do what you doing. Don't get out here start doing this dumb shit. Because this motherfuckers, they gonna take care of you.
Right.
And we were being taken care of back in the 80s, man. A Dunbar and Coolidge game back in the day, that shit was like a goddamn a superstar shit. And every name you heard that was on the streets that was getting money, they was in the front row.
Them the dudes in Turbo Bone men.
They couldn't miss them. They couldn't miss them. They couldn't miss them games. They couldn't exactly. They couldn't miss them games, Joe.
A lot of money.
They couldn't miss them. They
games.
couldn't miss them games. And as a player, you like, what the fuck? Because you heard them names on the streets,
Right.
And you hear about the money, and the game.
But them cats, man, they didn't intrude upon
Not at all.
Nope.
The only thing they did was help the program. They helped the program.
Right.
And
You know what I'm
then
saying?
it turned over to transition right into the urban coalition.
Yeah.
Hey, we were going to Florida. We were playing the tournament in Florida, and Fat Rodney, rest in peace. Fat Rodney confronted me. He said, "Coach, you all right? Y'all need anything?
Yeah.
You short?
Yeah.
I said, "No, Rodney, we okay. We all right, man."
My motherfucking man.
But that's how they roll. That's how they roll.
Yeah, they cared, man.
Yeah, they did.
They cared about what was going on, man. You know what I'm saying? I think right now with DC public schools, and it's not to knock on them, but they don't give a fuck no more about the athletic shit. But they not understanding back then, man, the athletic programs would that get your school ratings up on getting motherfuckers in school.
Not only
it
that,
made your school look good.
Not only that, it was saving a lot of people too.
Yeah,
it was saving.
Hell
saving
yeah, like they don't even give a fuck about that.
That's
shit.
what I say, man. Administration I had, man, with Robert Graves, Dr. Russo, Miss Boxley, you know, rest in peace. Those people traveled with us, you know, and they supported, man. They was supported.
And I'm telling you, we played 4 to 5 national tournaments a year.
Yeah.
We was Christmas time on it, man. We won in school.
So you was already kind of doing college shit.
Yeah, we were.
I asked you a question. You was already doing college shit. So
And then when
you going to Howard, you like, shit, I got
and
this.
then
shit,
when USA basketball,
Shit,
that was the first year they sent the dream team as the pros,
Yeah.
and they took us as high schools. Let me tell you a quick story on that. So Coach Giddens said, you know what, look, man, USA basketball want us to go over there and play on the high school level.
That was the Greece, right?
With the Greece.
Yeah.
That was the first year we represented the United States on the high school level. But they was like, but I was like, well, Coach, we ain't the #1 team. Simon Best and them. He said, listen, this is what it is. We the highest ranked public school. Right. A lot of them schools, prep schools, motherfuckers 19, get ready to be 20. Right. Well, then he said, but look, I got a scenario for y'all.
Shout out to the reclass crew.
Shout out to the reclass and the cone, baby.
He said, listen, man, USA basketball want Rashid to play with us. Every joke on that team said, fuck no.
Oh, shit.
And no disrespect to Rasheed Wallace, but Rasheed Wallace ain't a part of this mob.
Right.
He ain't the dude that went 33. He ain't no disrespect.
Is he gonna move in here play with us?
But no disrespect. We
y'all going to North Carolina with him?
We ain't bumping nobody for him.
Right.
We ain't built like that. Well, nowadays with all this jumping going on, I guarantee you.
Shout out to LeBron James. Shout out to LeBron James.
Whoever the #1 player is, and USA posed that, they'd have quickly brought that kid onto their team.
You know that.
Come on, man.
Shout out to your man LeBron James.
That stuff is.
That's LeBron
It's just a
James
different
era.
breed. It's just a different breed of basketball, different breed of kid.
See, what happened was
They real friendly now. You say they real friendly, huh?
Everybody
friends? Everybody friends now.
The temperaments, what we used to say, me and Butch used to always say this to me, because I used to say this to him. I would take a kid who's not as good, but with a very good temperament. You understand what I'm saying? Like you said, who wants to be coach? Sure, you can't win with side motherfuckers.
No,
we know that. You're not gonna win with that. You need talent.
Right.
But
No
I'll
doubt.
go back to a story where I went up with Black Rodney up to the Rucker jump. All right. And I'm on a team. We got a whole mile right bone full of names from DC.
Yeah.
Okay? And like I told Rodney, I was telling Bo what was going on. Got a lot of dudes here with a lot of talent. But it rained out. We had to go up in the Gauchos gym, real close, tight environment. Dudes from Brooklyn and the Bronx and everybody, you know what I mean? I think we was playing in one of them New York mobs. Say a whole lot of names. Shit got tight out there. And guess who had to pull us through that motherfucker? Throw that motherfucking camera on Slim right there. Reason why I got some. Joe, he started seeing motherfuckers fold and just that and that. But again, that talent shit is nice. But at the end of the day, if these dudes don't have temperaments, and we're seeing it in the league right now, these dudes jumping and wanting to help each other. Man, back in the day, man, these dudes' temperaments wouldn't even allow them.
Right.
Bird wouldn't allow his ego and temperament won't allow him to play with these dudes.
But if you really read up on it, basketball right now is no longer an urban game. It's a suburban game. It's hockey.
This shit hip hop.
But the thing about it is, the thing that I don't get is, the problem when they start comparing these new cats to the 80s dudes and the 90s dudes and the 70s dudes, a lot of these dudes now couldn't even get through the temperament of that, man.
No,
that shit is a different breed. Motherfucker can't remember that as good as Jordan is and we know him to be now, man, the Pistons was punishing that ass.
Yeah, they were.
5-4 years straight until he had to figure that shit out. Because that brand of basketball, you got to get to that point.
You always,
now, it's different, man.
But if somebody give you a shout out though to an old school cat, then obviously you doing some real shit though. To me, it's almost like a double shout out.
I just think they comparing the talent, not all of it. They just comparing the
I'm saying
talent.
new school cats typically don't get the shout out like to the old school cats unless they super special. You know what I'm saying? Like we can talk about Bone. Let's just take Bone for example. Bone, I play with Bone, right? So like his temperament was before the time. So like you say he coachable and shit. Like, you know, some kids ain't coachable, whatever. He real good, but he was coachable, right?
Right.
But he also was a fucking winner. So it's kind of like that baby magic type shit. But everybody ain't got that shit though.
Right.
So if you compare him to say Isaiah, okay, that's that. But like not every dude get that comparison to an old school dude because they ain't got that type of temperament.
But dude like
So you doing extra good if you get the throwback.
But a dude like Bone
Type
was
of
doing
comparison.
it because he loved to do it. Nowadays, these kids doing a lot of these kids are playing ball and being on these top AU teams for their attention.
And it's
Shorty, you play with Takeover, huh? Shorty, you play, or you get some attention from a little chick or something.
I brought this up on one of the shows. You know what fucks me up about today? A while back, right? I go to an open gym. I'm just watching kids play. Game go to 16, whatever. These motherfuckers lose, right? And just be acting like that shit cool. They gonna side me joning, shooting around like Joe. But nigga, we lose, we cussing Joe, we gone.
Yeah, it's a bad day. Attitudes fucked up.
They leave we got next. We got 3 games away. Fuck that. We came here to at least win a good 3 in a row. And let's get the fuck about it.
That's that mentality that you're talking about. You know, I always say, you know, we always had tough guys.
Yeah,
all my guys were tough. And the toughest of them all was Scoop Marshall.
Man, Scoop,
you know,
that's my man. That's my man right there. Shout out to Scoop.
You know, and that's how, you know, I mean, we didn't ask a quarter, we didn't take a quarter. You know what I'm saying? We were gonna come out there and we were gonna bust your ass. We were gonna come after you, you know. And if y'all beat us, you know, you beat us. We're gonna shake your hand and say, "Good job, man." You know, but we get you the next time. You know, that was the mentality we had. And like you said, we took that to heart, man. We lose a game, man.
Whether right or wrong, at the beginning of games, you know how teams go over, each team go over, shake hands and all that. Guess what he used to say? Man, we don't shake hands till fucking after the game. I don't know, all that shit. Yeah, that's all that shit breeds mentality.
Another thing that's a pet peeve now with the new school kids is you got kids now even before the fucking game don't even speak to each other. These motherfuckers don't even speak.
Hey man,
how many times have you coached a team?
Oh no, they don't
before the game. And they don't even, I'm talking about your own team. They don't speak
to teammates.
Yeah, they don't speak to teammates. These cats don't even.
They only speak to each other.
I'm talking about in modern day basketball right now, come to the gym, dudes is doing their own shit. They don't even speak.
See, that's the problem.
And then play.
That's the problem because
that's incredible to me.
If I ain't speaking to Zoe, then I ain't gonna pass Zoe the ball when he open.
Am I not lying? Hey, bro, am I not lying?
I know you absolutely right.
Am I crazy? Hey, bro, am I fucking crazy?
Now, how many times you in the court, right, with a motherfucker? Motherfucker give you a nice pass, boom. You automatically say good pass.
Right.
Instead, these motherfuckers don't even do none of that shit. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing? Basketball's becoming an individual sport.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you.
But that's because one thing you guys said was a lot of guys' lives got saved from playing basketball. That's not as much the case.
But I don't think it really got nothing to do with that, Ricky. It's a genuine meaning. I couldn't sleep when we got Greg and them Cardoza. I can't wait to get at them.
Right.
Meaning, it ain't got nothing to do with nobody saving my life. Meaning, the competition. I don't care about whether I got the latest motherfucking Air Jordans on it. That shit don't not important. With these kids now, I've been in AUs and shit with Laddie and what's saying them. Motherfuckers say, man, I ain't playing until they get my tennis shoes. But
that's what I'm saying. It goes back to why do you play? It's just something to do. When it's not tied to a lot of these kids, whoever they're going to be is who they're going to be.
But they like just what comes with it. Right, if I'm on Takeover, then I'm gonna get the little, like when the dudes see me with them, oh, shawty, you play with Takeover? Or the little girl gonna give me some, they want that.
Yeah.
Those are just the ices on the cake.
I'm
a 1,000,000% agree with you. So the youngest is that make guys like us say that's some bullshit.
Yes, that's secondary. I don't give a fuck about who want no attention with me. I get a thrill, like he used to say, this shit ain't fun unless we kicking somebody's ass. Right. That's fun to me. All that competing, we play the good game bullshit. bullshit. That shit ain't fun.
Old school, dog.
That shit ain't fun.
Look, you know what it's like?
That shit ain't fun unless we just one motherfucker.
It's just like Barkley saying like how the schedule now these dudes can't play back to backs. Y'all motherfuckers making $40 million a year and that.
But
we the old school version of that shit.
But it's something that made y'all that drove that.
You're saying it's some type of. I get it. If I'm correct, you're saying it's some type of hardship.
Well, not necessarily just something that drives you. That this. I see something here.
What's drive me is I like basketball.
That's
funny. No other reasons, Ricky. No other reasons, Ricky. There's no other reasons, bro.
Now, what I'm saying is, I think
like hoop and get.
I definitely get what you're saying. It's like our era was on some other shit as far as basketball.
I agree.
Yeah. Like you may see these kids playing
that
pickup
damn
games,
shit.
And these kids, listen, even when you see a pickup game, tell me we don't see this, Bone. You may have a kid who playing for one of these top AAU programs playing pickup game, and you go watch a pickup game and I just all over with, and you come to find out this shorty playing on this top AAU team, you can't fucking tell the difference.
Yeah.
He used to always say, motherfucker, if you playing a pickup game, you better show why you a motherfucking pickup dude and I play here.
Right.
It's because I like to play and I take this seriously.
So Walt last week said the way he learned how to ball handle was walking around the neighborhood dribbling the basketball.
Because
you never see that anymore. They don't even work out unless they're in the gym. So my point is,
that was out working out.
But the kids,
that's what I'm saying. That's my point. But that's my point.
That was out working
out. That's why I said there's a
we have all these private sessions.
I was back that be been a part of the couch.
Was it?
That was out working out.
But there's a different motivation that causes that.
And nobody made Walt do that.
Exactly.
Guess why Walt did that?
That's a difference.
Because he like to play. See, now you gotta go pick his ass up. You gotta make sure you got Gatorade in the fucking car. And you got nobody. If I gotta do all that for you, then you really don't like to play, man.
Right.
That's just my mentality.
But some kids just don't have that motivation.
But that's not. But that's what I'm saying. That's not the
majority.
But it's plenty of them motherfuckers that took his money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The opportunity now is so easy. For these motherfuckers to get on. You're taking these motherfuckers like him, the Anthony Joneses, and these motherfuckers who straight up fried, motherfuckers who can flat out do it. Come on, Joe, he burying head. Joe, at the end of the day, what's the kid's temperament and why is he doing this? Right. Because at the end of the day, man, people get so many coaches suck these kids up because they're so talented. You know what I mean? And that's what it's become at this point. But at the end of the day, man, these kids' temperaments are so bad that it's sickening. The reason why a lot of times I don't want to be bothered because what's his temperament? People got families and kids and stuff that they can be attended to. Ain't nobody got time to be dealing with you and this ain't really what you want to be doing, bro.
Can you coach this area, Coach Mac?
No, definitely not. Because number one, I still think that you gotta have big guys to eat the backboards.
Right.
You gotta have somebody with
ain't no more Mike Smith.
Ain't no Mike Smiths out there.
Ain't no more Mike Smiths, man.
So underrated.
Ain't no more Mike Smith.
So underrated.
Everybody wants to shoot a jumper. You know. Now you talking about people ahead of their time. Donald Ford. Donald Ford was 6'8", could play 1, 2, 3.
He'd been one of them dudes when they was.
He would have went on to the next level if he had come around.
What was he like? He was like.
Donald Ford.
Yeah.
He was like
Billy Owens type.
There you go.
I was gonna say like big dog.
Like a Steve Smith at Michigan State type.
Because Donald couldn't do a whole lot with that basketball as far as like he can see the floor.
The game was easy for
before you even see where the fuck you at.
Right.
Yeah. He might say, man, your man ain't looking. Just hold your hand up. I'm gonna throw you.
Y'all might not agree, bro.
Shit like that.
Y'all might not agree.
I'm telling you,
but he probably should have been one of the motherfuckers who went.
One and done.
No. That high school shit when they was doing.
When they was
right
doing
to the
it,
motherfucker. When they was doing it, he should have. That was Donald Ford. I told my brother that all the time. I said, that motherfucker was special.
Listen, when Donald Ford was playing, they would mention Anthony Hardaway,
that type of
and Donald Ford.
That was his matchup
in the same
on the road.
That's right.
That was his matchup on the road on the circuit.
That's how good Donald.
That was his matchup.
The game was easy for Donald.
Donald Ford was way before his time.
And the quiet is kept, and I don't hear it out enough. This motherfucker right here scorched a lot of motherfuckers as a high school kid, a lot of pros, yo. I'm talking about not regular pro motherfuckers. Like niggas in the league.
Niggas like my brother Sherman and Melvin's every day. Booting niggas like nobody. I don't give a fuck TV didn't impress me back then. So what I'm saying is, seeing them niggas every day playing against them niggas was my TV.
Let me ask you this question, Bone. We had an argument.
That was my TV.
We was in Vegas. Right. We was in Vegas after 16s and wanted in Vegas. So we get your pay. I never had a chance to ask you. Myself, Moose, Damon, Troy Weaver, we all at the bar. They got to talk about y'all old times up at the rec y'all used to go to, and y'all used to be driving some. Who gonna check Henry today? Right? Okay. And I said, Mike, and Mike was telling me this. I said, what do you mean? They want to say who's gonna check Bone? He said, man, I'm telling you, Henry Hall was better than Bone. I said, whoa. We got into a big ass argument. So I said, you know what? When I get a chance to ask Bone, because you know we run into each other all the time, they were the same Palmer complex. Was Henry Hall? You gotta ask this question for me. You gotta ask this question for me. I told Mike, I said, I ain't never seen.
My mom looking good.
In my own
my mom looking good.
As a 10-year-old,
I want a question.
Watching from 10 years old up to a grown motherfucking man right now, I ain't seen a motherfucker in the city better than you.
I want a question.
I done seen battle.
What's the question?
The question is, was Henry Hall? Because I also said the '89 All-Met team, I like that team against any team.
My coach right there with that ball.
And I know that. And I know that J-Boss team with Henry Hall was good. The dudes was good.
Shout out to the second team.
But the Herb Bain and motherfucking Greg Hill, Big Mike, motherfucking Moulton, Charlie, you,
we had a mob.
the other motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I said, Mike, something. I respect your basketball IQ. I said, I don't got Henry Hall being better than Bone pound for pound, Joe. I said, Bone in his prime, and you take Henry Hall in his prime. I tell you what. I think Bone could do more.
That 89.
I think Bone could do more.
That mob that year.
Hey, man.
When we showed up at Union Station,
Yes, sir.
I'm looking like all these motherfuckers. I'm like, look, this one, like, God damn.
But you was also thinking too, I burned every one of these motherfuckers.
See, but that's what I mean. Hey, I wasn't starstruck.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I mean.
I wasn't starstruck.
Hold on, 89
89
was an aircraft carrier.
No, that was
What up, 88?
Hey, that was 88.
That was Henry Hall, right? J. Bison.
89, we was in Union Station.
Oh, at the train.
Just kicking the breeze.
I still got
Forgot
that
to call me. Y'all forgot to call me. I'm still fucked up about that.
That was a
How the
nice
fuck I
show.
get second team? I'm still sick about that.
Grant
Monty
Hill.
Williams,
Grant
Hill, Mike Smith, Aaron Bain,
Dickie Simpson. Yeah.
What's the other? Hold on. What's the man play the Oxon Hill? He was in them all right.
Mike Tate,
Cut it out, man.
Brent
Cut it out, man.
Hey, my dad, I was gonna admit it. I'm still kind of sick about that shit.
There's no question. That is
Hey, Bo, I'm still fucked up on that, young.
If anybody, I mean,
You ain't
I only go back because I ain't that old. I ain't the oldest dude I had on this mouth.
Shout out to Mr. G.
You got posted.
I'm one camera. God damn.
So can you answer that question for me? Bone in his prime. I don't know. What do you consider your prime? Drake days, before Drake, after
Henry Hall, bad motherfucker.
Yes, indeed.
But could Henry Hall do as much as Bone could do? Could he run a team? Can he score 50? Can he get everybody involved? Can he check the bag? He get Bone for no reason. Can he check each other? I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
So what are you asking?
I'm asking what's
the question?
the question.
Hold on, let me say this. Let me break it down for you real quick. I'm a statistician, yo. They call me the motherfucking guru. Right?
What's the question? Let the man question.
1988, right?
Okay.
See, I'm saying
Nationally.
Go talk. I'm saying
There was Lateria Green.
Okay.
I think Lateria Green probably averaged 40 a game, right?
All right.
Then there was a kid, his name at the time was called Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson averaged, let's say he averaged 39 a game.
Yeah.
Then there was Henry Hall.
Okay.
I think it was like, what, 38.6?
Yeah,
I'm talking about high school
bad.
shit, man. 88, man. That's a bad motherfucker.
Okay.
So you said average 50.
Okay.
He gave us 45 with no three-point line.
So you talking? You just told me how well Henry can score.
Cookbook.
Okay, cookbook. Okay, but when I look at Bone, this is how I analyze players. When I look at basketball players,
Henry Hall was a scoring motherfucker, Joe.
Okay.
He's like the old school version of fucking Steph Curry.
I've seen a lot of dudes score. Right, I get that.
Look at this thing, Steph.
But what else did Henry do?
He more like Chris Paul. Henry Hall's a cookbook. I mean, they different category.
But okay, so
Henry Hall, flat out cookbook.
So that's my
flat
question.
out barbecue.
And I've seen this dude. I've seen Bone flat out barbecue. Every time I've seen him, like I've only seen 2 dudes as a youngster playing in his Herbo shit summer leagues, just as a kid going every game. I've never seen Boone, and I've never seen Sam Cassell have bad games.
It's a different type of barbecue, though.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
Henry barbecue, but I got side orders with my barbecue.
That's what I'm saying.
I got the corn.
That's what I'm waiting for you to say something.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm taking this little joke over here to say something.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now we got a show. Now we talking.
How do we separate the two?
So, you brought the shit up, right?
I got the mac
We
We don't dance around shit on this show.
I think we was in the motherfucking
That's my error.
chocolate can or
You
some
asked
shit.
the question. It's my error. 2 different type of barbecues though. It's Kansas City or you got North Carolina barbecue. The fuck you want?
Mike kept saying
Different type of shit though. I mean, no different. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
Here's the thing.
Mike kept saying, man, Henry was better. I said,
Coach Mack. Hold up, talk about Coach Mack can probably even speak on it even in depth because you coaching at that time. I play with these dudes.
Here's the thing. When you coaching against Curt Smith, Greg Jones, you know they're gonna get theirs. Okay? What you're trying to do is limit them. Make it hard for them. But you can't let them other cats get you. See, our focus, when we come in, we play Cadoza, and we play Greg Jones, I tell them dudes in the locker room. I said, Greg gonna get 30. He gonna get 30. But the rest of them motherfuckers, they ain't getting double figures. You know, we gonna lock them down. You know, because some guys, you know, they gonna get theirs. And a lot of times, they would take a bad shot, if you will. Yeah. So my term for that was they shooting turnovers. Yeah. Okay. So at this point, when they taking that bad shot, we getting that thing, we getting out of it. We run
still that coach down.
Oh no, shoot turnovers. That was his term. That was his term. Shoot turnovers.
Hey.
Absolutely. Because that's what it was. That's what it was.
Something every fucking day.
Oh, used to say that all the time, big fella.
Hey,
we gonna have him do shoot. We gonna have him shoot because like you said, Greg was right. At one time when Moochie left, it was Greg's show. So he was like, Zoe, kind of ease up, though. Because I used to always say, that's my assignment. Greg was, you know what I'm saying? Dudes uptown in the stands, shit was great. He was like, so Greg probably going to get his or close to it. But the rest of these jokers don't get discouraged.
Don't get discouraged.
You know what I mean?
But they gonna shoot some turnovers.
But can because Mike was like, nigga, Roach, I'm telling you, we used to go up to something hot, and the dude just be like, man, here we gave you 15 of it. Sonny gave you 17 of it.
Sum it up.
I'm telling you.
I got side orders, man. I got side orders mean I can get this involved.
Yes.
Right. And I'm trying to get this W. We gonna do this.
Right.
Yeah. I got.
See, that's the
coleslaw.
Yeah.
Because there was one time. Because it was one time as a youngster. It was only
somebody else worried about getting 30.
Yeah. It was one dude.
Maybe you had these conversations back then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was one dude. When I was growing up, I used to watch them. I used to go to everywhere they was playing. Right. I used to say to myself, "It's only one dude, man, Bone on the fucking be playing against." You know what it was? It was Melvin. Until one time, I think he was playing somewhere, and I seen him going. I was like, "Oh shit, he been going this motherfucking main man." I said, he been going this main man.
That's where I get the shit from.
You know what I mean?
Like,
I was like, this nigga,
man, you out here destroyed.
Cookbook.
But at the same time, it's about having your teammates trusting in you that you can get they can get the rock sometime at some point in time.
Yeah.
See, that's what I love about Romeo. See,
pure point guard.
That's what I love about Romeo.
Pure point guard.
Pure point guard.
Oh, that's your boy.
Yes, sir. Romeo, he know that we got to get that ball down there to Mike Smith. We got to get it down there to school. We got to keep our bigs happy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that was his job. And I like he said, Rome was in my head. Rome knew. Rome called the play before I called.
I had a great basketball mind, right?
Shout out to Big Brother.
Every day it didn't even.
Shout out to Big Brother.
It really didn't even take advantage of it until once I got older and was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was trying to learn you something, not teach you, but learn you something.
But at the same time, I was a knucklehead and thought I knew it until I got a little older. I used to tell people, why Rome? I said, man, Rome probably forgot more basketball than I know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because that was his job. And a lot of people, because a lot of people don't remember, Moochie was there.
Yep.
He got cut.
Right? But not because Moochie wasn't good enough.
It
was just that Rome fit exactly what he needed what they had. But people who understand the game don't get that.
And Moochie understood that.
No, but it's funny you said that. And it was funny you said that because a lot of motherfuckers like, oh, they cut. Nah. it's about building your team.
Right.
What
does
you
that
need.
team need?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's about what your team need. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Moochie, that motherfucker, man, we talk that USPL situation. Man, we should just branch off and just rap about, you know what I'm saying, about basketball.
Right.
About niggas on a team as far as like, man, we just couldn't believe how much talent we had on our team.
Yeah.
And I don't like when everybody think that Moochie don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? This nigga love the game.
Yeah.
This nigga
That's
Joe,
he turned that shit up on.
Joe, we sit and talk, Joe. The Mike Powell's and the Keith Davis.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying?
Right. That's the only team we
Joe,
lost to my senior year.
this no bullshit.
Larry Towns,
One night
Mace,
we
this
went
was
with it,
tough.
and Moochie was like, man, I think we need to start going to Mike Powell more.
Mike was on that team too?
Man, Mike was outside. Mike was outside and killing it.
I said, Joe, that motherfucker, Joe, I'll tell you something, man. Our 40-1s we went, and the Anacostia got us that one game out that season.
Yeah.
Keith Davis, Mike Powell, Larry Towns,
Yeah.
lived on that southeast side. Caught us over there, Joe.
Right.
Mike fucking Powell, dog, was a
it was a
gorilla.
problem.
It was a motherfucking gorilla in the house, man.
Tell you what we did though.
I had
When we played them in the championship game.
Yeah,
They had beat us, right? They had beat us in the regular season. When the championship game, we went 3-2 zone on.
Yeah.
I told them, I said, look, these cats, they penetrate. Mike Powell
Getting to the basket anytime he want to.
Right.
So we're going 3-2 zone.
And Chris was and what's his name was a big point guard.
Yes, sir.
Keith.
Keith. Yeah.
He was like 6'3", like British.
These dudes, I used to. I hollered, bro. Zoe wanted to jump out there. I took it personally. Get back, personally. I said, they gonna beat us with jump shot. They gonna beat us with jump shot. They gonna beat us with jump shot. We ended up beating them by 10.
Yeah.
We ended up beating them by 10. We kept
the only blemish.
Only
Yeah, that was it.
41,
man. That was a good team, man.
Speaking of 41, let me tell another story. We were down in Fort Myers, Florida, and we were playing against Alaska East. And they had Trajan Langdon, who played in Duke.
That motherfucker shoot that basket.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he only got 10 points against us.
He was like, what?
Hold on, we got 8, Cal. I mean, he got 8, coach.
Okay, but let me tell the whole story. We sitting in the hotel, and now we Dunbar. We the #1 seed, defending champs of this tournament. Okay, but they interviewing Trajan Langdon poolside because we Fort Myers, 80-some degrees, middle of December. You know. So Zoe and them. They looking out the window, and we gonna play them tonight for the championship. They pissed. I said, oh shit, they don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. So I told Zoe, I said, Zoe, you got Trajan Langdon. But Zoe knew that whoever the top offensive guard was, that was Zoe's job.
That was my assignment since I've been with him.
Zoe beat Trajan Langdon physically, mentally, and every which way. Trajan Langdon had 3 points, and we ended up winning the game by 20. And he finished up with 8 for the night, but it was garbage points at that time. They wasn't even in the game at that time. That's how they would take. But
that's what I mean by
what them type of guys? What them type of guys at now that can go out there and say, look, you got him tonight, and don't leave that nigga.
But boom, that's what I mean by temperament. That shit ain't got nothing to do with skill level, boom. Like he said. I took that shit personally. A lot of them trips, we went to Alaska, we went to motherfucking Greece, Hawaii. We couldn't even enjoy those trips, Bone, and see the things that they went out for because we was trying, man, where the fucking games at, man? Now these motherfuckers going out with flip-flops on and shit because they dead for the wrong reasons. Their temperament's not right.
Yeah, I agree.
I got pleasure out of beating the shit out of people.
Right.
And that's how I want my teams and the kids that's with me.
But see, our whole thing was
that's
when we came in the gym before the game, we wanted everybody to say, "Oh shit, there go Dunbar."
Yeah,
you know, because we come in with our warm-up suits on, you know, with all our gear, you know, coming in professional, come in, sit down, watch the game that's ahead of us. Then when it's time to go, Mo give us a signal. When it's time to go to the locker room, we go to the locker room. Shit was business, man.
And you know what they don't have now? Other young dudes holding the other young dudes accountable.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't the best talented dude on our team, Bone. But Claude, Pep, all them dudes knew that we gonna get right. If this dude say be somewhere such and such and such, come on man, let's go, man, let's go. It's 10 o'clock, let's roll. Like it wasn't that it's so hard hard to get kids to buy in totally, and they don't understand that shit win.
Yeah.
That shit win, yo. It ain't all about what you doing in the X and O's. If you holding dudes accountable, back in the day, even when you watching pro basketball, when them motherfuckers made a mistake on the Chicago Bulls team, they didn't look at Phil.
Right.
The motherfuckers looked at Mike like, because he killed the motherfuckers accountable. He just happened to be the best player.
We in Ocala, Florida. Getting ready to play this Kingdom of the Sun championship game against Miami Senior. Okay.
Tough.
So our rule was, when I get to the bus, y'all better be on there or we leave.
We gone.
Mike Smith wasn't on the bus. They looked at me. Ms. Boxley said, "You gonna wait for him, coach?" I said, "Let's go."
The featured dude in the tournament.
I said, "Let's go."
Not just
he'll
our
find
team.
a way to get here.
Right.
You know, he got there. He got there. I ain't say nothing to him. You know, he know the deal. We moving on. It's the program.
I know one. If I'm not mistaken, did y'all play against that Dunbar Baltimore team one year?
We played against them one year three times
and lost to them by a total of 5 points.
All three
games.
Yep.
But they was, don't get me wrong, they
did y'all play on Georgetown one time, right?
We played with Georgetown.
That's the game I came to.
We played with Georgetown. We played them up in Pennsylvania. And where was the
two of them guys came out to the last shot.
Yeah. They had Keith Booth.
But shout out to them dudes, Mike Lloyd, Deal, Ronte,
Ronnie
Scooter. Rodney Eller was a young dude on that mob. Yeah, but them dudes, and again, when we lost him, and I was a 10th grader on that team. Mm-hmm. So I ain't play a whole lot with Scoop and Johnny and all them dudes, a whole lot. Nonetheless, a lot of them games we was up a little bit to get in there and learn and that sort of thing. But shout outs to them Baltimore Dunbar teams.
Was that a game for you to bring on to your next crew?
Exactly. But that's where I learned that shit, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that Rome? Like Rome and Johnny and them dudes was thorough dudes,
See,
man.
when you have a program,
it's just it.
That do the same thing every year. Mm-hmm. Then you got guys who are seniors like Mike and Johnny and them, and Damon Singletary, cats like that.
Yep.
They passing that on to the younger guys.
Yeah. And that's we passed that on Mike Gill and them, Frank McQueen and them.
I don't have to police that locker room. I don't have to police that locker room.
Never.
They got it.
Never.
They got it. Right. And they'll tell you, I very rarely, the only time I go in the locker room was just before the game when we go through what we're gonna do, the pregame stuff. That's when the locker room was dead, though, man.
Yeah,
I respect that.
They handle it.
I respect that.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't have kids now that are accountable for each other. They scared to say something to each other.
That's the problem.
But again, they don't realize that that's winning shit, man. Mm-hmm. You have to have that.
Yeah.
There's no. You have to have. Like when you look on Golden State team, Draymond ain't the best dude out there. But when he talk, dudes listen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or dude get out of. I mean, it's just certain stuff, man, that these jokers don't have, and I credit it to that they don't have the temperaments, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the temperaments to be able to take these games in the way they're supposed to. Right. They're so caught up in everything around the game. You know what I mean? Especially so politicized now with all this giving. Motherfuckers so fresh and giving them this and giving them that and doing this and doing. You're saying to yourself, man, this is horrible, man.
Shout out to Rick Pitino.
It's horrible, man.
Cuz I got your mom, Roach and Mac on
it was like Reggie Towns,
my man.
Yeah, pass it down to them dudes, man. You know what I mean?
Reggie won the city championship or the inner high championship when he was coaching the girls.
Yeah.
And Reggie said, "Coach, I run your whole playbook." I said, "That's good, man.
That's what it's up, man. But that's what good guys leave to people they coach. You know what I'm saying? Coach, I'm gonna put you in the spot, and we're gonna close it out with this. Give me your top 5 players you ever coached at Dunbar.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah. Wow, don't duck this question.
Don't
you duck this question.
That's hard, man. I don't know if I can.
Man, you can get that.
He said, "Try to get out of the boat.
Take that smooth shit out. The smooth shit out of the door."
Let me say it like this: the best shooter I ever had at Dunbar,
Deion
Murray, and Claude Green. Deion Murray and Claude Green. The best defender I ever had at Dunbar
had to be Roach.
Lorenzo Roach. Mm-hmm. Best point guard I ever had at Dunbar, Romeo 1, Pep Tyson 1A.
Okay.
All right. The best player, the best athlete I ever had at Dunbar, Nate Langley.
And see, hold on,
Hands down.
let me stop you right there real quick. Because I heard them on the show not give Nate, but the thing about Nate was this, Bone. Nate was.
Don't get me
listen
wrong.
to me.
Don't get me wrong.
Listen, Bone. I don't even consider Nate
He's all been player of the year.
No, he was player of the year. But I don't consider, and I played with Nate since we were 7th grade at Dunbar. Like, me and Nate been friends since we were 12. I'm going to tell you something about Nate, because I heard y'all talk about Nate, and a lot of people don't really. But Nate, I don't even consider Nate a basketball player. Nate is a fucking athlete, dude. I'm telling you now, he freakish. Meaning, he the type of motherfucker probably couldn't even name you 20 motherfuckers off the top 50 players that ever played. Meaning, he was so good as an athlete, that I'm telling you, bro. And you didn't see a lot of them. You was all doing your thing. I'm telling you now.
You ain't gonna say and tell me that Nate Langley was a better athlete than Mike Smith.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
But let me finish.
Man, Mike was a fucking freak.
Let me finish.
Mike went hard probably.
No.
All right, Curt, you asked me.
This nigga was athletic.
You asked me.
Yeah,
okay.
fuck
All
with
right.
Nate, Joe.
All right. The best rebound I ever had.
That's
hands down.
Hands down.
Michael Smith.
Michael
Smith.
The best player.
The toughest player I ever had.
Johnny Rose.
Now, Scoop Martin.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about my man. Yeah.
But Johnny, hold up. But Johnny ain't far away.
I don't even know stop.
Johnny ain't far away.
Now, the smartest player I ever had, Damon Singletary.
Wow.
Hardest worker.
Yeah, I can say hardest worker.
Made himself a player.
Yeah.
Okay.
He stayed in the gym.
But the best player.
Oh, so tell me, my man, the Thrill Gill don't come in this conversation?
Well, see, let me tell you about Thrill.
But y'all saw Thrill. But you saw Thrill as a grown man.
I
saw Thrill as a young man.
Wait.
That potential.
No, he was tripping pro.
When I coached Mike, because I left. When I coached Mike, Mike was just
coming into his own.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I can't put him in that category because I didn't coach him.
He coached as a youngster.
Right.
Yeah,
He was
a 10th grader with us.
But Donald Ford,
Hands down.
Donald Ford, and I had one other that was right there with Donald. Oh, Johnny Rose.
For sure.
Those two were the most gifted.
Scoop was talented.
No question about it.
And I put Johnny in that.
And I know I'm leaving. I know I'm probably leaving somebody out. And they're gonna say, "Damn, coach, you ain't mentioned me." But the thing was that collectively, every year, we had somebody, Sean Winfrey.
Right.
Okay. Every year, and what made them, what they all understood their roles. They all knew what they brought to the table.
Right.
Whether it be defense, whether it be
I think you did that the best.
know.
You had people.
Let me ask you a question. You got
So if I left anybody out, God forgive me.
Big Frank or Big Kenyatta.
Wow, I forgot about them.
You said Big Frank Chambers or Kenyatta?
Yeah.
I'm going with my man. That's outside of us being not blood, that's my man.
Hey, Nationals won, by the way.
That's my man. That's like a, you know what I mean? That's my man. That's my man. That's my man.
But see, we had guys like Kenyatta Massey, like you said.
It was huge, man.
Jerome Logan.
Did you coach Ty Gibson?
No,
he can't. Your first year was 88.
87, 88.
Because when I was at Mac, we played against y'all.
Right.
I was in 10th grade. I was in 10th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you had a KK and them guys.
Right.
KK played for you?
Yeah, left hand KK. He's
athletic.
wild.
My neighborhood. It was the older dudes in my hood. It was the older dudes in my hood over Northeast. Yeah, KK and them guys. But I didn't know
that was your first year.
So you was 11th grade.
I was in 10th.
87, 88. You graduated 88, 89.
87. I came in the 86, 87 year.
Right. He wasn't there yet.
No, he was his first year.
87,
88 was his first year.
I was in 10th grade.
Yeah, he was at Mac in there.
Back then, junior high school was.
You graduated 88, 89, right?
I graduated 89.
Yeah. 88. So then 87, 88, you was 11th grade then, right?
I was in 10th grade in 87. 86, 87 on 10th grade.
But you wasn't coach.
That was fair.
No, 87, 88 was
not 80. He wasn't there 86, 87. He did 87, 88.
Right.
Yeah, but I was in the 10th when I played against Dunbar.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He wasn't there yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in the 10th and playing. He was there.
But that's interesting, though. That's interesting, though, that you say he could do top 5.
Did you coach KK and them?
I coached KK.
That was your first year, right?
Right.
That was my 7th grade year.
I coached KK, Darren
Yeah, y'all nice little mom back then.
Yeah.
Nice little mom back then. Because Westmore then won in '87.
Right.
So you came the very year after that.
The next year.
The very next year.
88, right.
So that's 87, right. That was my 10th grade year map.
Yep.
But that was interesting to see it. You said him as top 5. He named down. I was waiting to see that. He does that.
87, 88.
I didn't play basketball in 11th grade.
Yeah, okay, that's 87, 88.
I didn't play basketball in 11th grade.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't?
Nah, I played 3 games with Mac, and that was it.
And that was it.
I tell you who else was a good player for me. Your boy, Cedric McFadden.
Oh, that's my man. Black
Sid broke his hand.
Black Sid.
And when he broke his hand, then I moved Dion into the starting line.
Black Sid. You know, Sid went to Mac with us.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
I know.
Yeah. Sid was Mac with me and Mike, yeah.
Wow. Sid called me
Sid
and
is
said,
behind
Coach,
me.
Sid called me and said, I'm coming to Dumbo because Sid lived right up the
Right
street.
with the corner, yeah.
And he said, Mike Smith want to come. I said, give me his phone number. That's how we got him. That's how we got Mike.
Oh shit, that's my guy right there.
Yeah, man. But
Motherfucking Sid, man. Another Dunbar show.
And then the year when you left, like that team right there was so talented, man.
That team was
we had Frank McQueen,
Donnell Brown,
Mike Gill,
Hinton, Boo Singletary. What was
Ollie Lonnie,
Alamami Bangor. What's the boy name? Hinton.
Jason Hinton.
Jason Hinton.
Jason Hinton.
We had a mob, man. We would have been ranked number 1 in the country.
Actually, that's when he was playing against Stephon Marbury, and they had a national schedule. Shea Cotton, them and all them. Yeah, it was. One thing about you kept a national schedule.
Oh yeah.
I'm just glad you ain't scheduled that we couldn't get O'Kill in that year. We was trying to
get
O'Kill, but we had too many games. I was like, God damn, coach. I was like, coach, you can reschedule some motherfucking junior college team playing against them motherfuckers.
They had a mob that year.
Man, they had Stackhouse, McGinnis, I was like, God.
But they was in the tournament that we were in down. What was it, Classic?
And guess what? All we heard, we walked in the gym, all we heard was Stackhouse on the dunk. Stackhouse flip too. We was like, this motherfucker's a man child.
Stack was
Dude, we was watching this motherfucker play like, coach, you was going to reschedule these guys.
Yes, sir.
Stack was the bad motherfucker.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I done put y'all up against them. I mean, those guys always rose to the occasion. It didn't matter. It didn't matter who we were playing. You know, we Dunbar. That's how we looked at it. We Dunbar. We coming after you. You know, this is what we do. We gonna run 55. We gonna do some double fists. You know, and if y'all get us, y'all get us.
And the thing we didn't worry about you, what you used to always say is, we ain't worried about what the other team did. We know what they do.
Right.
But we gonna do what we do.
That's what we do.
That's the one game
We
never
do.
Right.
You know what I mean? We know what they do. Don't get it wrong. We know scouting reports, the best players, the tendencies, and this, that, and the other. But we're gonna see if they can adjust to what we do.
You know, that's how we
see how we do it. You know what I mean? So
it was fun though.
Oh man.
It was fun. Man, I used to, the thing I enjoyed more than anything else was practice.
Oh God, practice.
We going to practice. You know, I enjoyed that more than the games.
Yes.
You know,
those were better than the games.
Yeah.
When you really look at it.
Yeah.
How about that story you said?
First practice when you broke your teeth.
Playing pep, checking pep, bone up. I plug him, go for the bar. My legs are cold in here. This tooth right here, right on the ground. Boom! I just see all my teeth shine. Go downstairs. The trainer wouldn't let me come back. I was like, man, this opening night. But that's what I mean. That mentality with kids, man, is just not there, man. So that's why when you finally get that type of kid, you latch on to them jokers because they there for the right reasons, man. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids are so full of shit when they come in the gym, man.
So you coach Trey them, right?
Yeah. Actually, like I said, the first team man was Daniel Battle and them, Trey, Keith Blanks and them, you know what I mean? Which was a whole different type of kid versus us. You know, the kids that Coach Mac coach. You know what I mean? A lot of the way I wanted to play, I had to instill, especially with Trey. Trey had, and Trey played on that circuit. So by the time Trey got back to the end, him and Earl and them,
ripping that shit up.
By halftime, me and True was sitting on the bench and Earl pretty much ran the team.
See, I always felt like, you know, this like you said, we played the national schedule, which we did.
Right.
Okay. But my whole thought process was that, well, number one, we're going to go away. We're going to live together for about a week. We're going to bond. We're going to get to know one another. We're going to get to like one another or hate one another, 1 to 2, you know. Plus, we're playing that level of competition. it's on the national level. So by the time we got to the inner high, we were prepared. We were ready to go against the Curt Smiths of the world. Because we knew, you know, we knew our league, I always felt that our league was better than any league in the country at that time. You know, so we playing in the tournaments, we playing against all those other schools and leagues best. You know, so we were prepared to come in, because night in and night out in the inner high, it was a dogfight.
It was no disrespect, Ricky, big fella, to the Maryland teams, but at that time,
it wasn't even. Yeah, it wasn't
we was going out to the Eddie Sars and the Jellips and all them leagues going. We was pissed because we thought them kids was way more privileged than us. So we was going into it like, man, this mother driving his mother Benz to the motherfucking game. I'm calling Bone on my team and such on my team trying to get into the hoopty, you know what I'm saying, to get some gas money so we can get around out there. Because Coach again was like, we play at this time, I need you there at this time. Right. You know what I mean? So at that time, man, it was just, he used to say this too. Joe, we coming in the gym with athletic arrogance. Exactly. Be who your parents raised you to be outside of the court. You be polite, yes, man. Inside the motherfucking black lines, I'm giving y'all a license to get out. Like, before we break the 100, what you always say? Bust ass. It wasn't a game when the ball was thrown up. So it was business. Fun for us. After the game is over with, then we'll shake your ass after we kick your ass.
Can you coach in this era right now?
I couldn't, Bone, and there's reason why I'm not. I've been offered a few, you know, through some reliable guys that I respect, and Moose being one of them. Moose politely asked me to coach his son in them. Scheduling stuff didn't permit it to happen, but it's just so tough to do. And that was my story before we get out of here, Bone. We in Vegas. I'm coaching 4 teams. A lot of people may take this the wrong way, but fuck it, I'm gonna tell it anyway. We go and we're playing. I think we're playing to get out of pool play. All right? So we're playing the toughest team in our pool, and we up by 15 going into maybe the last 10 minutes of the game. Get down to the last 2 minutes of the game. We only up 8. We just closing out the game. I think we playing New Heights. Kids from the Polo Grounds of New York. Right. These motherfuckers start scratching and clawing. All of a sudden, we turning the ball over. We can't get free throws. So I'm burning time. I was just on some things like, look, man, we need to close this game out. Finally, we went by 1 or 2. We get back to the hotel. We chilling, waiting for them to hand our keys out. And I'm saying to myself, man, I gotta figure this shit out. We in pool. We out of pool play now. We getting ready to see Indiana Elite. We getting ready to go see Baltimore Select. We getting ready to, this is when the fucking tournament getting ready to start. I don't need these motherfuckers nutting up when it's time to get there. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, why are these kids playing like this at the end of the game, turning the ball over because this shit's starting to get physical? So I simply asked a question. I don't know what made me ask a question. I said, let me ask y'all a question.
Yes,
how many? I asked the kids a question. 13 kids. I said, how many of y'all have ever been in a fight before? Guess what these motherfuckers said?
No.
Nah, man, Coach Will, in my school, we don't tolerate
that.
Hit me out, Rick. So, and a lot of people won't take this wrong. So I said, raise your hand if you've ever been like in a real fight before. Out of 13 kids, how many kids you think raised their hand? Out of 13 kids. 1.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I said, and don't take this wrong, y'all. Right. I'm not telling you all to go out and pick fights with people. Don't get this misunderstood. I said, growing up, I may be riding my bike, and Bone say, well, Shorty, so let me ride. And I say, nah, man, my mother said, I can't let nobody ride. Nah, Shorty, let me ride the bike. That's going to turn into me defending myself, and I'm going to be in a fight. Right. I might be at the swimming pool, and you might be saying, Shorty, what size shoe you in? And I'll be like, man, that turns into a fight where I got to defend myself. In today's time, I realize that at the end of them games, Ricky, when that shit getting physical and really physical,
they never been there before.
That shit's a fight to them. And I'm saying to myself, wow,
what year was that, Jay Butler?
That's because they got everything now.
That's what I'm saying. But these kids, these motherfuckers don't fight. You remember the day when you used to body punch, used to slap box?
But that's why. But that's why.
But we had a real sandbox. We used to box.
But think about it though. But that's why Keon Boyd has stood out so much to the older generation because he's from where he had a more of an experience. These kids don't have to play basketball.
That kind of shit builds your character though. As a youngster, so now when you get older, at the end of the game, start getting physical, these motherfuckers like, oh, hey, this is a fight.
Right.
So now they going to the show, so that skill level shit is out the door.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, man, these kids really taking this as physical play. So
Man,
now they can't play with him.
man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
See, but that's one of the reasons, Bone, that I can't. And then their parents on taking up for him.
Yeah.
It's just a
They
bad
they
thing,
would
man.
probably have me arrested now.
Shout out to Mike Rice.
If I was coaching now.
It's crazy.
Because of I ain't never throw no basketball at nobody, but it wasn't nothing for me and I'm talking about in practice now. It wasn't
Shout out
nothing
to
for me to
Eric
cuss you out. I mean, and I'm sure you used to that as well.
hell yeah.
But you can't do that now. You cannot.
No,
do that
you
now.
got what you say.
Yes, sir.
I think right now that what you gotta do now with this shit that's going now, you gotta watch what you say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like real discreet, real cool with anything you do, and then at the end of the day, you cannot have sexual intercourse with these parents because they gonna put you out there, and then that won't mean. That won't is mean. Once you go that route, oh, you fucked up. You fucked up. The kids get the.
And the bad thing about that,
That's the real shit.
There's a lot
Real
of
shit.
trying to get you in
This
that
real
thing
shit.
so the kids can play.
This
Bullshit like that.
real shit.
Bullshit like that.
Yeah, this real shit.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. This is real shit, man.
It's a whole nother
Yeah.
entity, man.
They left that part out last week about shit on Facebook. What you do with a pussy and all that shit. Yeah, you gonna sign a kid up on an AU team for some pussy.
Shout out to
Yeah, and you don't win no game
shout out
and nothing.
Shout out
Fuck
to
your
Louisville
life up.
basketball.
Fuck your life up. You know what I'm saying? You gonna fuck your life up.
Shout out to
You know
Louisville
what I'm
basketball and the
saying?
prostitution ring.
You gonna fuck your life up with this shit. Yeah, but we
But
gonna, man.
it's them little things like that, man. That mean who people don't value, man. That mean, growing up in them environments like that, where you're not a bad person. You were confronted with certain situations where you had to do what you had to do.
But these kids never have to do that, and that's what I'm saying. It's a suburban. We think of tennis and golf. That's what basketball has transitioned to, whether we want to accept it or not, because of who's playing it. I mean, and that's why I'm saying, like with Keon, it's why Keon stood out so much, bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he come out there, he don't give a fuck about nothing. Keon,
That's the reason why Draymond Green doing what he doing.
Yeah,
That's 6'7".
it's not a lot of dudes left to
Because
play
he know
this
these
game because
dudes
they have to.
These dudes selling work tickets out there.
Right.
I ain't skilled than most of these dudes, but I'm gonna go at these dudes' chest, and they ain't built like that.
Right.
That's it. And he getting the bag for that.
That don't happen no more.
No.
Often.
No.
Back then it was like every night with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But great show tonight, man. Got my
Appreciate you
guys,
having us,
man. Coach Mac, man. Appreciate you coming. We had to start at 7 something with Coach Mac, man. Mac said he came, y'all that. No, we'll be just starting this motherfucker. That's a special show with Coach Mac, man. Man, Zoe came through, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having me, man.
Holler, my man. Boom. Joseph, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? As usual, JB. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Moe on sick leave. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back next week. You know what I'm saying? But Charlie Moe, he had some questions for you. Hey, he still fucked up with you with that 89 shit, man. No bullshit, but nah, bro, as usual, man. Appreciate y'all, man. You know, we just trying to keep everything positive and keep positive guys in the show, man. Great show tonight, man. We see y'all next week, man.